Happy Wednesday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Daily, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for now 10 minutes of our day. We do it together. All right, before we jump into today's message, let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Follow me, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Say hi, say hello, drop a comment down below. If you're new to me, I'm Lisa Puerto, also known as Super Agent, on all social media at lasuperagent. That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you're a YouTuber, please jump over there and subscribe to the show, especially my feature show, Ready, Set, Real Estate, where there's over 100 videos of real estate content available for your enjoyment. How much does it cost? $3.99. $3.99. Really excited about what's happening there. And if you're a radio podcast listener, we too are also available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Anchor, Stitcher, Breaker, Castbox, on and on and on. Just type in keyword LA Super Agent or Ready Set Real Estate. The show pops right up. Make sure you hit subscribe, and there's nothing else you need to do. You'll catch all the latest episodes as they're uploaded. Okay. All right, let's settle down. Okay, I trust you are having a great day. Today's message is going to be an audio version only. Why? Because I'm sitting at home in my nightgown, my lady's gown. I had a great day with my son today at the beach, and I'm just relaxing. So without being too distracting on camera, I still wanted to make sure I commit to continue to upload new episodes as part of Shift Your Thinking. We are continuing our series from Dean Del Sesto, Shift Your Thinking, 200 Ways to Improve Our Lives. And you guessed it, there are 200 ways in this book, which means we will have covered 200 episodes as part of this series. We are on episode 113, mind-boggling. 113, and I'm calling this section Count on Me. If you're following along, this is the section where he calls it accountability, with an emphasis on the CC in the word accountability. I like that. Actually, I would have never thought about that, because accountability, when you are looking for accountability partners, this is someone that you're CCing, right? Like in an email, you CC, you carbon copy someone and let them know to hold you accountable, or you share that message or that thread with them. So the author says, if you want to see better, more consistent results, then CC. Whenever you delegate something to someone, it's a gamble and on how well or how poorly the other will perform in your delegation. I think that's one of the biggest things I think is for someone like myself who is very action oriented. When I plan, I do, and I go. So when other people are on board and they're not ready to move, when I'm ready to move, it is frustrating for me. I will acknowledge that. It is frustrating. Everyone moves at a different pace. And I'll continue. He says, and in today's intensely ambitious world, delegations gone bad can cost our jobs, our relationships, and precious resources. One of the bigger reasons people perform poorly or don't deliver at all is because only one person, the delegator, is aware of the delegation. So if the job ends up substandard or not done at all, there's only one set of eyeballs on the breakdown and only one repercussion to deal with. This is true. This is true. I think on the last episode we covered about the leadership abilities and holding yourself accountable for what you represent and what you're putting out there is what the team picks up. They're only mirroring your behavior. So it's important that you're accountable. For me, especially as an entrepreneur, small business owner, independent contractor, uh, I'm developing my team and continue to train them with the skills and set the expectations that I expect with running the business. That way, when there is a hiccup, then I take it as, okay, what did I miss in sharing with that person that this is how I wanted it done, or this is what we would expect. So that's a very important part when we talk about if it's just you, then you're just going to fall back on you and how you slipped. He says there are simply not enough people in the know to drive greater accountability and put the doer's reputation or more at stake. To drive the point home, imagine being 50 pounds overweight in Toastmasters. Excuse me, not 50 pounds overweight in Toastmasters. He says to drive the point home, imagine being 50 pounds overweight in Toastmasters, and every month you give a talk on health, with the first one promising all 100 people that you will lose 50 pounds in 6 months. Now, imagine your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends, and others you care about showing up at that first talk and every talk thereafter. Now, feel the accountability and how it goes from back of mind to stamped on your forehead for all to see. That's one of the reasons. This is so funny because here's how I create accountability in myself, with you all, and social media. When I put out that I'm doing something, that holds me accountable to following through and making it happen. One of the things with doing that as well, I'm allowing myself to say when enough is enough. So I'm pacing myself. Definitely, if things, sometimes I definitely put too much on my plate. And when things are added to my plate and there isn't enough time because I want to be successful at seeing it through, I will not, I'll have to reschedule it. It's just not going to happen because I'm a person who, I like to say, I'm not going to half quote, half ass it. That's not what I want to do. And so I would rather reschedule it when there's sufficient time, when I'm not feeling overwhelmed and overworked and overstressed, so that I can see it through and it can be something enjoyable and a win-win-win for all parties. With that being said, he says, it's like wearing a sandwich board that says, ask me if I've lost 50 pounds. The idea of retreating to laziness and breaking your commitment disappears just like the weight will. And I agree. When you put it out there, you are now holding yourself accountable. People are holding you accountable. One of the things that I'll share doing Shift Your Thinking, you guys are expecting, those of you that have been growing with me for the last 100 plus episodes, you are now expecting that Shift Your Thinking is going to happen. And I'm committed to seeing it through. The other thing, I put out a webinar third Saturdays of each month. It's that time on Saturday, so I make sure I block that in my schedule, just like it's an appointment. Uh, and there are things that, in terms of putting it out, staying committed. The CC function in our email box is no different and is there for many reasons, most of which are utility, some of which are strategic. I use it for accountability and a public profession of things that are going to be done. Having run a large ad agency, he says, I remember emailing tasks to a person and CCing multiple parties that were stakeholders on the project. I remember what happened and had to deal with less of what didn't, all because of greater accountability. And I agree. I think one of the biggest lessons right now learning that is bringing more people on board so that they can help. Still a work in progress for myself. So with that being said, let's use the CC function more so that we can get better today. So think about ways today. Join me in thinking about ways today that you can CC or bring someone on board to hold you accountable in just one thing that you want to see through. All right, lovies. I will see you tomorrow as we continue Shift Your Thinking Daily. Bye.